Danny Bonaduce, life coach.
All right, let us do the life coach right now. 1-800-252-1025. That's the number to call. Or you can email me at lifecoach@KZOK.com. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. Let's start and go to the phone lines and talk to Tina in Burien. Good morning, Tina.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm on my way to work. My problem is I've been trying to get sober. Well, I've been since August.
Right. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. I'm working really hard at it. I've never been in a relationship sober since I've been drinking for a long time. My current boyfriend, now that I'm becoming sober, I don't know if I still want to be with him. He's excited I'm sober. He was very supportive, except now he never worked before and he still doesn't, and now that's starting to bother me.
Right.
So there's things that I'm becoming aware of that I think I just fogged out.
Well, and let me ask you something. How long have you been sober? Since August?
Yes.
And do you go to meetings?
Yes.
And do you know that have they told you in the meetings this would be a great time not to be in any relationship at all?
Well, I've been with him for 3 years.
Right.
So, yeah, they said that, but I was in it prior to being sober, and we lived together, so it's not like I can just quit seeing him.
No, I'm not asking you to quit seeing. I'm just, logically thinking, how many great decisions did you make drunk?
None.
Okay, that kind of tells you something right there. So, you know what? If you don't think that, and I'll ask you, do you feel that you're going to take a drink over this relationship with him, that you're going to go home one day and God, I wish you'd have a job, you don't do anything, and next thing you know, you're going to drink?
No, it does cross my mind, but I don't.
Well, you know what? I've been sober 4 years, and drinking crosses my mind every single day. By the way, welcome to your future. But that's the way it's going to go, although I will tell you something that, and maybe you know this already, Tina, one of the most exciting things in my life is not being sober. I don't really love being sober. Staying sober, the meetings, the people you meet, the things you do, the things you think about. This conversation with Tina, I could go to a meeting and meet Tina, and we could talk about this in person. Super interesting. But I will tell you this: I don't love it that you're in a relationship, and you know what? You have the extra bonus of this guy doesn't work. I don't love that either. I would think here's a great time to work on you and entirely you. So I'm thinking if you look around. And I don't think you sit and wait for a reason to break up with this guy, but the next time the opportunity shows itself, you take a step towards that door and find a brand new life with just Tina in it and just, your parents and things like that, and just get real sober for the next year and then get in a serious relationship. And if you need to, you tell him, listen, I need a little time, buddy. Will you wait? And he'll say yes. But I think you should be working on you right now, Tina. Hey, thank you very much for the phone call. And congratulations on, 6 months sobriety, 8 months sobriety?
Congratulations. If you've got a question for the life coach, you need to be calling 800-252-1025. Danny Bonaduce can help you. Just make that call. Shelley in Seebeck, you are the next person on Life Coach.
Hi, Shelley.
Hi, Danny.
What's up?
I have a question. My sister-in-law married a man that has 2 grown children.
Right.
And she wants us to accept them like they're her own children.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wondered what the protocol is on something like that.
Here, I will tell you, and I hope you don't think I'm being jestful here. I'm not. This is going to become a thing around Christmas time and birthdays. You're going to buy them better quality presents because you're accepting her at them and on the kids' birthdays. But I don't think anything happens, differently that when you just say, hey, I'm going to accept them like they're yours. I don't know exactly what that means. What does that mean to you?
Well, because the thing is they're grown. They have kids of their own. So I'm just kind of like, okay. It's not like we ignore them when we go to family functions or anything.
Right. Do it's your sister's boyfriend, right?
It's her husband.
Her husband. Do you like him?
Yeah.
Okay. I think something is being made much ado about nothing. You have to treat them like they're hers. What does that mean? Add them to your will? I don't even know what that means. Do you know specifically what the hell your sister's trying to say? Your sister-in-law?
I think because she considers them, like, she wants to treat them like her own children. She wants all of us to do the same.
I got to tell you, this is going to sound way worse than it is, but this is what comes to mind. My children are my children, and I only see them about 4 times a year. So if the kids are your kids, you love them. I think she's asking for a lot. If she's asking you to love them like they're hers, like they're the blood of your families, I think if she's asking you to treat them with respect and dignity, which I'm assuming that you are, that's all that she really wants. And I don't think anything's really going to change. I think she just wants to try to make this grown-up decision. Love them like they're mine. But that doesn't really mean anything as long as you're treating them well. And that's all you need to do, Shelley.
If you've got a question for the life coach, you still have time to call 800-252-1025 and email us lifecoach@kzok.com. Teresa in Sammamish, you're on Danny Bonaduce, life coach.
Hi, Teresa.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay.
All right. What can I do for you?
Well, I've been married for nearly 25 years.
Right.
For way too many years. It has been a destructive relationship. And I don't feel like divorce is the right thing to do, but I'm to the point to where I think I need to do it anyway.
Now, do you not think divorce is the right thing to do because you have religious inclinations towards divorce? What does that mean?
It's religious.
Okay, all right. You know what? I got to tell you this. And here's another thing. It can be either the religious, I'm born a Catholic or a Christian or whatever it is, or I've been married 25 years, like Teresa says. You know what? I don't want to go. Why would I want to be a divorcee this year? I would tell you this right now. There is no time that is wrong for a divorce if you're divorcing the right guy. If you're in a real life relationship that is destructive, you should go. And if you ask my ex-wife, and God bless her for getting off the pot on this one, it was a terrible relationship for the last decade or so. All my bad. She was married to a drunk for 15 years or whatever. And finally she said, the kids, the house, the finances, it does not matter to me. We need to get in a healthier relationship. And that's what she did. And that's what I'm recommending to you, Teresa. Get up and move. Now, having said that divorce is okay with you, let me ask you, what does he do that makes it a destructive relationship?
We have spent the last 10 years on an emotional roller coaster as a online relationship became personal.
Wait. What online relationship?
He developed an online affair, and it has become personal.
So he's met her?
He's met her, and he's supporting her.
Financially supporting her or cheering for her?
Financially.
Dude, it's Teresa. Run out of this relationship. Divorce this guy right away. Be the very first one to hire an attorney and don't tell him so you can get your ducks in a row because you're in a no-fault state. So everybody's going to split stuff, but you can stash stuff away. This guy is terrible. You shouldn't allow it to get this far. This is insane that there's a girl walking around, and when I say your house, I mean your life. There's a girl walking around your life that your husband, that you don't like that much anyway, met on Tinder or whatever the hell he was doing. You need out of this, Teresa, and I personally will back you, but this is a really good sign for divorce. And I think if you talk to your pastor or whatever it is, and you said, here's why, because if you're just against divorce for religious purposes, and you get one, maybe you committed a sin or something. But you go to your pastor and you say he went online and he met a girl and she came home. He's going to back me on this. He's going to say, sweetheart, divorce this guy and then go forth and prosper and sin no more. You're good, Teresa. You need to get a divorce.
Good luck to you, Teresa.
Yeah.
Good advice.
What
Danny.
a jerk, not her, him.
Yeah. All right, we've got time for more calls on Danny Bonaduce, life coach. It's a Becky in Puyallup.
Hey, Becky, how are you?
Hello.
What's up?
I hate my daughter's boyfriend.
Right, everybody does. So what's your question?
Well, she's expecting the first baby. It's due any day now. I went over to help her set up her nursery and all of this stuff. And Assad, as I call him, stayed in the bedroom, watched TV, and smoked pot.
Right.
That's all he wants to do.
So your daughter is contemplating marrying one of the world's biggest losers?
No, he doesn't believe in marriage.
Oh, my God. Well, thank God, because they're not married. When she goes to get away from this loser, they're not married, because getting away from this guy is certainly what she needs to do. So what? Let me ask you this before I go crazy because I hate this guy. What's your question for me, Becky?
how do I not kill him in the delivery room? All he wants to do is play his guitar, and I'm going to turn into El Kabong.
Can I tell you right now, God, does anybody else get the El Kabong reference because of me? But it's perfect. You gotta hold it together, Becky. There's a baby involved. You know, it's funny. I thought I hated him as much as I could, and then she said he has a guitar, and then I hated him more because he has a guitar. For God's sakes, hey, you got to do it for your daughter. And I will tell you this: I'm using a lot of me in these things, but shame on me. I was pretty drunk when my son was born, and my mother-in-law was there, and I feel, and this, I hope this helps you, Becky. I feel I pulled myself up by my bootstraps, and I've made something of myself. There's a chance that this kid is going to make something of himself, and if he doesn't, your daughter is going to. It's easier to get away because you're not married, but there's a kid involved. You're going to have to tolerate this as long as possible. And your kid is going to come, her eyes are going to open sooner than later. This guy doesn't have a job and just sits around and smokes pot all the time. So my advice to you on this, stay polite. Absolutely, as long as you can, because you're only in a position to lose. You don't get to. Here's the first thing she'll say to you, Becky, if you start a big fight. Well, you don't get to see the baby then. Boom, you don't want any part of that. Stay, sit on your hands and be as polite as you can. And then when the time comes, and it will come, where she goes, I hate this guy for all the same reasons you do, Mom. She'll go, good. Let's get an exit strategy together. So be polite, Becky. It's the best you can do right now.
All right, we've got time for one more caller on Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach. Danny, I'm going to put you on with Paul and Everett.
All right, Paul and Everett, what's up?
Hey, I'm freshly married, less than 2 years, and I have a 15-year-old stepson, and my wife and I never agree on how to get him to do his chores. Any ideas?
You know what? And I never, ever watched the show. I was watching Dr. Phil yesterday, and this was really sad. It was the stepmother of a kid that was locked in a basement or something till he weighed just a handful of pounds. It was really sad. But they had done something. I don't recommend this. I just mentioned I saw this. They signed legal documents when they got married that he couldn't discipline her children and she couldn't discipline their children. I don't know why I'm bringing this up because that's a stupid way to try and raise a family. Here's what I think you got to do. Because it's going to put so much friction between you and your wife. If you try and discipline this kid and he won't do it, I got to go with this. You're still the dad in the house. You still rule the roost, and your wife. Everybody's got an equal vote. But here's what I'm telling you. Start cutting off that internet. Stop cutting off the games and things like that. Everything that's elective starts coming out of the house every time. And this, I actually did this. It was my best, I tell you a lot of failure things that I did as a dad 10, 15 years ago. This is one of the best things I did. You start taking away the games and the computers. And I promise you, Paul, he will start doing his chores if he wants the Atari back. I realize that's 30 years ago, but you know what I mean. Thanks, Paul. That's all the time we have right now for Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach. Life Coach is brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE.